Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. There has been such a struggle for businesses and corporations to hire a competent and competitive workforce. Well, I've discovered one company that is doing something different and it seems to be working. High school and college students participating in the AMPS Entrepreneurship Leadership Institute retreat, gearing up for some hands-on experience. They came in chanting at Sage Farms, which is where they've come to learn about the agriculture industry. But they are about to experience something unexpected.
Like I said today, because I'm going to cover it again, today we're going to be on the farm here. We're going to learn about what farmers do. We're going to have a panel discussion with some of the farmers and some of the advocates, and they're going to talk to you about what they do and what some of their challenges are, and then we're going to figure out exactly how we can help or how we can solve issues. Before we start the panel, just remember one of the biggest things on why you're here for the weekend is to build relationships, right? So the folks on the panel, Yvette Brown, her husband, get their numbers. You never know where it's going to lead. It's all about building relationships, and we don't come into a relationship asking.
You find it hard to narrow down which months have the most rain, so you can start storing water from then, so you won't have to struggle so much with the drought.
Climate change has impacted the territory, the Caribbean, tremendously. Our weather capacity has changed. We are no longer, we could have sat down and make a schedule based on when we know we're going to have our rain, when it's our rainy season, when we could do this, and then we could do that. Now, you don't know. We have been for the past, I think, 10 years facing drought. Every year we go through drought process right now. That is abnormal for us.
Not long after that statement, reality struck.
This is a challenge. This is not what's normal for us. But we have to face it.
This is precisely why AMPS Institute and the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Services teamed up to generate youth entrepreneurship surrounding conservation.
Important, big question. What's the problem you're solving?
We're solving the fact that the islands go through droughts every year, and this leads to the fact that we have no food, and being able to have our own source of water from all the farms makes us we depend on our so we can self-sufficient. Yeah.
For us, in our agency, this kind of activity and this kind of collaboration is very, very, very important, because we depend on this kind of activity to spread the word and to try to bring more young people into the agricultural businesses.
This program is the brainchild of CEO and founder James Amps of Amps International, who gives high school and college students a hands-on introduction into different industries at no cost to them, then creates a pitch competition out of it for a cash investment.
Co-owner of Sage Farms, Dale Brown.
James Amps knows the best way to build a business is to solve a problem, which is why these farmers came to share their struggles.
I'm growing what you want that is available and best grown at that particular time. The consumer will take it. The issue we are having though in this business is that there's not enough local food consumption.
My name is Frank Bermudez. I am the owner and operator of the Senecal farm down the street here. I actually have about 100 head of cattle right now.
My greatest challenge would be, having to face drought when there's no food on the island, there's no food on the farm. I have to struggle. Whether it is cutting tree limbs or whether it is cutting and bringing home whatever dry grass I can have to feed them something, and hopefully have enough of water where they can drink and provide shade so they can survive.
And what we do is we talk about food security, food sovereignty, and sustainability. So my whole job is to talk about agriculture, to talk about farmers, to talk to farmers and help make their issues more visible to people in the community, to people in policy, to people nationally, so we could try to drive resources and solutions to help farmers do what they do best, which is grow food, and also make it feasible for them to grow foods, right? So that their businesses grow.
I think today is going great. We're here at Sage Out Farms, and they had a panel of farmers that they talked to, and they found some of the challenges that they had. It was a great conversation, and the USDA NRCS leader was here as well. And then they broke up into teams now, and they're figuring out how to put their business plans together. So that's what they're going to begin to do now, and for the rest of today and tonight, all the way up to 11 o'clock, and even until tomorrow. So they're having a great time, they're learning a lot, and they're working together with people that they don't know. And that's really the biggest thing that we wanted them to do, and that's what they're doing right now.
Sage of Farms is not only a place for cultivating crops, but educating the community about agribusiness and agritourism. This farm is wired for instructional purposes, laptops and all.
Research and development, R&D. Very simple. You gotta do market research. Who does what you do? Or are they doing something similar to what you do? Once you know who they are, then you gotta figure out how are you different. What makes you so unique? What's your competitive advantage compared to others? What's your USP, right? Your unique selling.
Start Googling what you're looking for. And somebody's probably already doing it. And if they're already doing it, how can you improve that? So how does the island now get water? How do they get fresh water? You all want to improve on that? Is that what it is? Okay, so now how do we improve on it? But let's find out how they're doing it now. Because if you're doing the same thing, it's like it doesn't matter. But if you're improving on what's going on, then everybody wants to go.
Not only are we farmers, but we are advocates for other small farmers throughout the community. It is important that we as a community, surrounded by waters, depend on shipment of food, develop a food system. Food security, food sovereignty, and sustainability is the key measurements to our economic development here in the Virgin Islands. Unfortunately, we import 98% of what we eat. That means the Virgin Islands depends on someone else to keep us alive.
It's smelling good, so I had to come inside to see what was cooking. Not only did students from AMPS Institute learn about the business of farming, but the benefits of going from farm to the table. A full kitchen allows Sage of Farms to cater to guests and build their reputation for agritourism. After their meal, it was back to work. This time in the classrooms at the University of the Virgin Islands. It was time to take what they've learned from the farms and build a business around it.
I'm Zabby Wilson.
Hi, my name is Kayla Baloo.
Hi, I'm Malia. Hi, I'm Tiara.
Hi, I'm Tiara.
So there are a lot of things that young people can utilize as well as the technology, some of these new apps, and help provide services to these farmers, especially in record keeping, accounting, in marketing, using digitization to market farmers' commodities. I think it's endless, even in pursuit of getting some of these grants to help them start up what they're trying to do. I'm really grateful for the NRCS and AMPS Leadership Institute for providing this opportunity for these Virgin Island students, and we're just hopeful that we can see them as we're working on tomorrow's leaders now.
The next morning, the agenda: pack bags, business attire, and breakfast on the run. It was time to perform what they had prepared, and they showed up ready to compete, not just in front of the judges, but family members too.
We always feel from early age that she has a lot of creativity in herself, and by finding this opportunity, we thought that will bring all those creativity out in a structural way. So we are happy she decided to participate, and we hope to see what she come up today.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Amps, and I thank all of you all for being here. I run the AMPS Institute along with a group of individuals who are entrepreneurs who we decided back in 2003 that we wanted to give back a little bit. I run a speaking and training company called AMPS International LLC out of Florida, and we were lucky enough on this trip, that we ran about 10 or 11 camps. We were lucky enough on this trip to be sponsored and funded by the USDA, NRCS, or National Resources Conservation Service, and they're the ones who said that they want new entrepreneurs on the Virgin Islands, and that they wanted to keep the talent here.
With the introduction of the judges, including Dale Brown of Saja Farms, Summer Sibley Brown of Virgin Islands Good Food Coalition, and Elizabeth Beck, a business school teacher from Central High, the pitch competition began.
So whenever you're ready, Flow Corporation, just let me know and begin.
Good afternoon, my name is Samantha Nibor and I'm the CEO.
Good afternoon, my name is Avia Joseph and I'm the president.
Good afternoon, my name is Keisha Richards and I'm the vice president.
Good afternoon, my name is John Willis and I am the marketing director.
Good afternoon, my name is Annabelle Garcia and I am the CFO.
The purpose of our company Flow is to help farmers all throughout the territory. Because as we all know, the drought seasons can be very hard. When there's no water, crops cannot grow, and we need the water in order to help us be self-sustainable with our food and the way that we live.
Our goal is to help the Virgin Islands become a self-sustaining territory. Our market plan is to provide water to local farmers on St. Croix for the cost of $1.40 per gallon. To promote this idea, we will use radio talk shows, social media, blogs, news articles, and advocation.
Introducing Farmers Flowers, we will work alongside farmers to grow flowers and sell them to local consumers.
We'll be using local farmers' unwanted plants and flowers to make bouquets. We also will be partnering with beekeepers to pollinate our flowers and help grow crops.
Our nonprofit organization has launched an app that connects farmers to farmers. Hence our slogan,
We are the outlet to your plug.
Our app will combat supply chain issues during natural disasters.
The Farmers Plug will create job opportunities within the community
To assist those whose incomes have been affected by natural disasters.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Annabelle Garcia.
My name is Amir Norman.
Victoria Nelson, Yvonne Paris,
and Alexander Palavon. Did you know that 95% of produce consumed in the U.S. Virgin Islands isn't actually locally grown? It's imported. To put this simply, this means that we rely on others to survive. We have decided that the main reason for this statistic is that farmers aren't getting their name out there, and therefore they're becoming an invisible figure to their community. That's why we have created CTF,
also known as Cultivating the Future, a partnership service-based business company, that specializes in marketing services, solution strategies, and connection.
All the licenses we're looking at right now would be the business license and further down the road a farmer's license. So our total would be $2,500.
Where we are going to promote agricultural stories of the Virgin Islands, as well as showcase our clients and showcase what they're doing and showcase what we're helping them with to really tell their story. Because as we've learned this weekend, story sells.
And so the charge we left with was, what if tomorrow they were given money could actually happen? Because all of you, and this is important, all of you presented real answers to real problems that need solving. Not one of them was guessing. Cultivating the future.
In the end, Cultivating the Future taking home first place prize of $900, but everyone participating left with money to invest.
Hello everybody. Today was very scary for me because I'm more of an introvert, but I feel like this opportunity, this entrepreneur camp has helped me in a way that no other camp has ever helped me before, and I'm very thankful for the team and the staff, everyone here, because they taught me so much. I was writing notes, we didn't get much sleep, like I got an hour last night, but it's okay. But I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for everything you've given to me, and I appreciate everyone here. Thank you.
something that I got from here was really the mindsets, and what stuck with me is if you really want to get something done that you've never done, you have to do stuff you never did. And one thing I don't like to do is stuff, I like to stay comfortable or like do something that's very close to the things that I do. And I want to get places, so I know I have to do things that I don't even want to do. You know, not even that I've never done it, I just don't want to do it. And I learned that I have to get past that. I have to get past the limited mindset. I have to persevere past any of the, frustrations. I want to apologize to my group because I did, lash out a couple times, but y'all know it was under pressure, and y'all know it's all wrong. And I realized there's a lot of things that also needs to be controlled, and with this whole experience, I could further this into other businesses, how to have a whole plan, how to set it up and be efficient in my living and in my being, and I really just appreciate this whole experience so much. Thank you.
I really enjoyed this program because watching my team grow through this weekend has been really, really fun. For instance, to start the weekend, we talked about what our skill sets are and what we want to contribute into the team, and watching them at first undersell themselves and say they can't really do that much, and then by the end of it just go above and beyond for everything we did was just incredible.
My name is Kishon Hodge, and I already do farming already in St. Thomas. I have my little business I do, so I learned a lot from this program. I also learned that you can learn how much units you sell, how much profit you bring in, how much revenue you're making on a yearly scale, so that it could help me with my small business I continue to do along the way. Thank you for this program.
I want to say that this has been a wonderful experience, and I just am so grateful to meet all the new people that I did meet, because it's so crazy how strangers that you don't even know can come together and put such a great idea out, all of these business pitches in such a short period of time, because on a regular basis entrepreneurs would take literally weeks, months, years just to come up with one business pitch, and I feel like all of us did this in such a great way, and we expressed how we actually are as individuals, as young individuals too, and I just enjoyed it, and I'm really, really appreciative for James and Mom for teaching us how to be entrepreneurs the right way.
So when it's time for them to do the virtual meetings, make sure you're available. When they come back on island, make sure you're available. Because they're invested in you. So use that investment to advance yourself. I recognize some people in the video from 2010. Some were former students of mine, and there's one guy I recognize, he has a business that he's doing. So I'm interested to find out what he was discussing in your session. But
children need to, from my perspective, need to understand where their food source come from. It's not a situation where you go to the refrigerator and pull it out. It is grown somewhere from the soil to your mouths. And I wanted them to get an experience to understand what that's all about. Be a part of the agricultural process and understanding healthy living, wellness, all that goes with living a healthy, nutritional life. I've known James for a very long time, and before he can get his sentences out, I say yes, because I know what James is about. I know what he's going to do. The money is going to be well utilized, well spent. He's going to make sure the necessary education is put out there. The resources is put out there because James puts the time in. And like I said, I work alongside him in making sure that our objectives, our initiatives are met. And I did it not just for him and just because he asked. I did it because I knew that the community of children, whether they're from ages 5 on up, was going to have an opportunity to touch the soil, to understand what it's about, and to be educated to a level that they may be interested in becoming some form or facet to be a part of agriculture.
Jacqueline, definitely appreciate the opportunity to be on your Newsworthy Stories segment. We've been doing entrepreneurship retreats since I started my business in 1993. So I think it was 2003 we did our first retreat in Broward County. And we wanted to find a way to actually help our young people in high school and in college on getting out of that structured environment in high school and college and getting into an environment where you can create stuff and use their minds to do other things besides schoolwork and memory work and so forth. So that's why we came up with the Entrepreneurship Institute. I want to give back a little bit to our high school students because I've done a lot of work in the high schools and the college market. And so we figured out a way to have an intensive 3-day retreat where they're learning about not just entrepreneurship, but they're learning about a new mindset on how can you solve issues for people who need it. And we've got to find different industries where people need to solve different issues. And so that's what started this thing. And we found out that when we were dealing with these high school students, they knew nothing really, or 85% of them knew nothing about entrepreneurship and building their own businesses and becoming their own CEO.
But here, with what you're doing with the USDA, is that you're also teaching them how to conserve. This is, working towards the environment. And that alone that's a whole nother level by itself of opportunities for these students to create businesses that are environmental.
You're exactly right. And we believe in talking with the USDA, NRCS, and Vivian Dixon and the chief, and Luis Aurora, who is the leader of the Virgin Islands for USDA out there, that there are opportunities for our young people to help in conservation, help agriculture, and help our farmers, especially in the Virgin Islands. And that's a unique area where we're touching on with this retreat, is that they actually get to interview different farmers on the island and find out what their challenges are. So when they begin to build their business, they're building a business that's going to help farmers solve issues. And that's the whole concept, is that if we can teach our young folks on how to help individuals and organizations solve issues, everybody's going to want them. And the key to this retreat is that we get to follow them for the entire year.
I was just going to say that.
Oh man, because now they get to be mentored by USDA, NRCS personnel. They get to be mentored by farmers. They get to be mentored by people at the university to understand what the university is doing and how the college experience helps them. And so it's a whole new atmosphere for us and a whole new way of us doing our retreats when we get that entire year to spend with the 25 students that we're going to have in the retreat. 20 of them were taken from the high school, 5 from the college. So we have that mix.
I see. Okay. Now this is actually a picture from a previous time. And I believe is this in Broward County?
That was the Broward County retreat. Yes, that was sponsored by DeVry University and Honeywell, as a matter of fact. So we had a good outing there. But those were people, even though it wasn't Broward County, we got them from different parts of the country. So we probably had 5 or 6 from different states, and then the majority from Miami, West Palm Beach, and Broward County.
Now I know this group was another retreat that you did, a mix from St. Croix and the U.S. Where did it actually take place?
Yeah, that was in St. Croix. That was like 2010. We were so overjoyed with that one, and that's why we want to come back, because now in coming back, and Vivian Dixon and Chief Cosby, they understand that it's not just the 3 days that we're talking about. We're talking about a whole year-long mentorship for these students, and we want them to understand, yes, what agriculture is about, what equity conservation is about, but we want them to also guide them into one of the 27 agencies under USDA so that they can make an impact. And we believe that we will have a better employee if they understand what entrepreneurship is about and building their own business.
Now, I do have an investment in this one myself, right?
Yep.
So, I've kind of joined the team here, the AMPS Entrepreneurship Leadership Institute.
Yep.
I'm going to have to kill myself to say it like 20 times. I'm like, when I was saying it, I'm like, really, James? This is like really hard to say.
AMPS Institute, we're fine.
We're going to have to cut that name down.
AMPS Institute is fine.
But it explains what you do. That's the part that I do like. I like that the name explains what you're doing. And just the fact that you're a laboratory. I love that on your website. If you go to, the website, which is scrolling across the bottom, which is not scrolling across the bottom because I've been scrolling my own name across the bottom.
We got
There
to see
you
your
go.
name.
Which is nice now that you can see James's name scrolling across the bottom and the
Right.
information. What you need to understand is that it's a laboratory for for youth entrepreneurship.
Right.
And I really want you to let that word sink, those two words sink in. Youth entrepreneurship. They are tapping into a resource that is not yet been, we've seen, you know, young people creating businesses. I mean, even if you watch Shark Tank, you can see that they have a whole Shark Tank,
Right.
full of young people creating their own businesses. But what about having a business like AMPS International come in to your corporation, bring in potential, you know, employees, workforce for you, introducing them to something they might not even realize is available to them. I love it. That's why, I'm looking forward to it.
And we believe that even though we're dealing with the youth and high school and the college environment, the adult industry as well, it's good for them, especially for the corporations that you mentioned. It's good for corporations to do a retreat on entrepreneurship to change that mindset and help people solve issues within the company. And that's what we look for. It's like, how can we solve issues within the company to make the company grow and be profitable? And that's a good thing.
Thank you, James. I greatly appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Appreciate you. Thanks for being our media consultant. It's a big help.
Hey, we're going to get it out there. We're going to get that word out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thanks, Jacqueline.
Thank you.